Hello and welcome back to Talking Teens Official. I'm Darrell and thank you for joining me and for your listening ears. I really appreciate it. We've all seen those families where the kids just seem grounded, respectful, confident and driven. And from the outside, people look at them and say, maybe they just got lucky. They were blessed with easy kids. After 20 years in high school classrooms, watching thousands of students and their families, I can tell you with complete certainty, it is almost never luck. Great kids aren't always an accident. They are the result of an intentional, conscious environment that starts long before high school. Today I want to unpack what those parents are actually doing differently behind closed doors. And it starts much younger than most people realise, specifically during the toddler phase. I'm going to run through 7 pillars in this episode. And whilst you are joining this episode, jump into my school community because I do a lot of work around these pillars. I've put a link in the description and in the comments. I'll see you on the inside. During that toddler phase, that early, relentless, why? Why is this happening? Why is it like this? Why is it like that? That's a really important developmental phase. And if you've passed that phase and you're worried about moving into the future, don't stress. You can still fix it. But when a young child asks endless questions, our natural adult instinct is to lecture, provide them with the final answer, or shut it down because we are exhausted. But parents who raise remarkable kids use that window to listen more than they speak. Instead of jumping in to fix every problem or hand down those rigid answers, they will flesh out the child's ideas. They might ask, what do you think happens next? Or why do you think it works in that way? When you do this early, you wire your child's brain to think more critically, express their inner thoughts, and trust that their voice actually matters to you. Here's the hard truth that many parents overlook. You cannot pour from an empty cup. You cannot teach what you don't model. So the second pillar is that great kids come from parents who are deeply invested in their own self-care and self-respect. They take pride in their work. They prioritize their physical health. They exercise and they fuel their bodies properly. They understand that kids rarely do what we say, but they always absorb what we do. So when they see you heading out to the gym, being conscious of the food that you put into your body, you don't need to explain it to them. They're just watching. And when your teen watches you respect your own body, time, your goals, and your healthy self-discipline, it becomes normal in the household without needing a single lecture. There's an old saying that it takes a village to raise a child, but nobody talks about the quality of that village. This is the third pillar. Notice the social circles of families who are raising thriving kids. The parents maintain a tight, intentional group of friends who share high standards, mutual respect, and positive values. And naturally then, the kids move within those same circles and absorb those values. If you are surrounding yourself with gossip, negativity, or people who constantly complain, your kids normalize that environment. If you want your teen to find peers with strong character, take a hard look at your own social circle first. Great kids are not actually treated like fragile guests in a hotel. They are active, contributing members of a household. This is the next pillar. Their parents involve them in the daily rhythm of life. They are cooking, they are cleaning, they are practical problem solvers. Most importantly, these parents resist the urge to snowplow or rescue their kids from every uncomfortable situation. And this isn't just an opinion of mine. There's a famous Harvard grant study which tracked human development over 75 years, and it discovered that the biggest single predictor of adult professional success and life satisfaction was whether a child actually participated in regular household chores. So involving your kids in real responsibility isn't a chore for you. It is training them to build confidence, resilience, and genuine self-esteem. Pillar 5 is another major difference in how these households handle mistakes and failure. When your kid gets a test that comes back with a low mark, or a sports match is lost, or poor judgment happens, effective parents do not catastrophize or attack the child's character. They treat failure as neutral data. Instead of shaming them, they might ask, "What did you learn from this? And what are you going to do differently next time?" This teaches kids that a mistake is an event to learn from, but it's not their identity. It is a learning curve. So when friction hits, and it will, this is the next pillar, these parents do not step in as an out-of-control police officer. They lead as a captain. Decades of developmental psychology research on authoritative parenting shows that children raised with high warmth combined with firm expectations that are high show higher academic achievement, better emotional regulation, and significantly lower the rates of anxiety and depression compared to punitive or hands-off households. They understand that teens learn how to self-regulate by watching the adult stay grounded, which is you. The boundaries around safety, respect, and health are non-negotiable, but the climate remains calm and steady. These families also rely on simple, predictable daily rituals, whether it is a 15-minute screen-free family dinner, a weekly breakfast, or a weekly dinner, or a regular car ride chat. These touch points act as an emotional anchor in a world full of academic and social pressure. Above all else, great kids know where home is. This is the next pillar. It is the place where they can drop the performance, take off the armor of peer pressure, and be fully themselves without fear or judgment. When a child has a true safe harbor at home, combined with parents who hold an unwavering belief in their potential, they don't need to look for validation in dangerous places out in the world. Raising great kids isn't about being a perfect parent. It's about being an intentional leader under your roof. If you are ready to shift your family dynamic, eliminate daily friction, and build an environment where your teenager naturally thrives, jump into my school community. You can click the link below to connect with parents who are dedicated, like-minded, and are having these conversations on a daily basis with me. You can also book in a one-on-one strategy call with me, which is free, and we'll map out a plan for you. Let's continue to build that safe harbor together. I'll see you in the next episode, and until then, remember that focus, connection over correction. I'm Narelle, and this is Talking Teens Official.